Good evening, everybody, and welcome to, I guess we could call this season 3. We had season 1, the regular season. We had season 2, the tournament. Now we have season 3. It's Agganis week. This is where the seniors from all around the area get to play one more game. Some of them get to play with their own. Who's that? Hit in the air in the center field for a base hit. Anna Franguli from St. Mary's gets the first hit. He comes the first base runner, leading off the ball game. This is the annual, and they'll run for Franguli at first base. I believe it's Mia Vitozzi running. Wide for a ball. This is Gabriella Golden. She's from Winthrop. Anna Franguli from St. Mary's is on her way to Alabama. Wow. She had a great career at St. Mary's. Outstanding young lady as well. Swing and a miss. Foul tip, held on to. And that's strike 3. So one away.
Now batting for the South, number 6, Christy Skane.
Christy Skane from Everett in for a strike. And the umpires, I don't recognize any of the umpires. I talked to a couple. We have a female behind home plate. Popped up, back to the backstop. Oh, 2 the count. We have names and numbers, but we don't have any positions, obviously, so. Down and in for a ball. Up and away for a ball. So it kind of goes even at 2-2. Down and in, it goes to, it hit her, actually. She's going to go to first base. I was about to say the runner's going to go to second and the ball goes to the backstop. So first and second. And Penny Spack had a tremendous career at Peabody. They went to the finals last year. They went to the semifinals this year. In for a strike. She was a big part of that. She's a multi-sport athlete from Peabody. Hit in the air. Shortstop, automatic. I didn't see anybody signal infield fly, but she pops up to the shortstop for the second out. Lily Talent from Winthrop. Swing and a miss. She's going to Eckerd next year. Hit to second. They make the play. So the North puts, the South puts 2 on. They leave him at first and second. And we'll move into the bottom of the second inning. And it'll be Anna Fanguli. One of the many betting courts behind home plate. The betting courts were outstanding. They've got a couple of them coming back. The pitcher was outstanding. Isabel, who's catching now, had a great year. And in the North Shore area, the betting courts, along with Lamassney, led the North Shore in home runs. This is the 25th Agganis softball game. It started with football, honoring Harry Agganis, giving out scholarships. And after a couple of years, everybody put some pressure on, so what about the other sports? So they went to baseball, obviously for Harry, being a Major League Baseball player, hitting 300 for the Red Sox when he passed away. And they, little by little, they kept adding. They added softball, then they added soccer, added basketball, added lacrosse. Lacrosse is being played right now over at Manning Field, a doubleheader this morning, starting at 11, after they had the ceremonies honoring everybody, inducting 5 well-deserved people into the Agganis Hall of Fame. Hit the shot, hit right on the nose, but hit it right to the shortstop. That was Manuela Lozado. Bouncing out. She hit it solidly. She had a great couple of years for classical, but she hit it right on the nose and hit it right to the shortstop. And that's Ashley Aiello getting the first hit for the North. And Paige Butland from Wakefield. Aiello is from Gloucester. She's at first base. Butler from Wakefield. And that, she thought it hit her. The umpire said, no, it hit the bat, so it's a strike. It's a foul ball. 4 umpires for this one. They volunteered their time, and we thank them very much. Down and away for a ball. In for a strike. He almost threw that one away. Angie Catino saved that at first base. Angie, outstanding goaltender. Took St. Mary's to the state finals this year. She's going to be showing off her talent at Sacred Heart next year. Low for a ball. So Butland draws a walk. So the South had 2-1 in the first inning. Now the North has 2-1. Both coming with one out. Hit foul. This is Chloe Tagasti Bobian. She's from Gloucester. She's going to San Diego State. That's a bit of a trip going from Gloucester to San Diego. This is the first year that Agganis has played on the new Fraser Field. Everything you see out here is now turf. Used to be grass in the outfield, turf in the infield. They did it over completely, and it is absolutely gorgeous. Swing and a miss for strike 3. So the second out is a strikeout. Nikki Ericola from Beverly going to Bridgewater State. In for a strike. Chased that pitch, it was up and away. Down and away. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Foul tip held on to by Betancourt. So Frank Gruley picks right up where she left off. She was averaging like 2 strikeouts an inning during the regular season. So both teams get 2 base runners, first and second with 1 out, and both leave them there. We played a full inning in this 25th Agganis All-Star game. No score, North and South. Mia Vitozzi. In for a strike. From North Reading should be going to Babson. Hit right to the second baseman. Hit it well and lined out. Riley Zukas will be the hitter. Outfielder for St. Mary's. She's going to Wentworth. Up and away for a ball. Pitching for a ball. Gorgeous day here, up in the mid-high 70s. Swing and a miss. Blue skies, big puffy white clouds all around. Just a gorgeous setting. Swing and a miss, evens the count at 2. We've gone this far without mentioning it. Ashley Aiello from Gloucester is doing the pitching. Wide for a ball, and we go 3-2. Hit foul. I don't know if they went off the catcher or the umpire's mask. Pitching for ball 4. Lucas throws a 1-out walk. Angie Catino will be the hitter. We mentioned she's having a great career. She helped St. Mary's have an outstanding years softball and also the hockey team as well. They went to Garden the last 2 years. Lost in the state final this year. They had their 2 best players that were under the weather having to play the game. Hit on the nose to short. Zukas was off and running with the pitch. She goes to second base. Catino was thrown out by the shortstop for the second out. So the South has another runner in scoring position at second base, this time with 2 outs. Lon Malcolm from Peabody should be going to Regis. Chases that high pitch and swings right through it. Peabody up, Peabody on deck. Isabel Betancourt, the catcher. In on the fish, she fouls it to the screen. Quickly 2 strikes. Pop foul to the screen again. I don't think they're finished at Manning Field. I think it might be halftime. The lacrosse game over at Manning Field. Ooh, wow, that looked very high. But it's called strike 3. Second strikeout for Aiello. So for the second inning in a row, the South gets a runner to second base, but it's left there. And we'll move into the bottom of the second. And the North will have a chance to get on the board first. We mentioned the 25th game. South has won 10. North has won 12. North and South both had 3-year winning streaks, but the North had the longest. From 2010 to 2013, North was unbeatable. They won 4 in a row. South won 2 in a row, and then last year they didn't play 2022 because of COVID. 2022 the Northmen, so they're looking for 2 in a row in this 25th game. In for a strike. Haley Harris from Triton, going to Bridgewater State. Hit high in the air, long run for the left fielder. Foul territory, can't get there. Be a long strike. South won the first 2 back in 1998 and 1999. Wide for a ball. There have been 2 ties. 0-0 in 2001. That's a strikeout. 3 in a row for Frank Woolley. 2 to end the first, 1 to start the second. The other one tie was 0-0 in 2001. The other one was 4-4 in 2017. Hit to third base. And they throw it away. So Aldani from Triton going to UVM winds up at second base on the error by the third baseman. He just threw that. Catino had no chance to get that one. That was way up closer to home plate than it was to first base. Missing wide for a ball. Maya Perone from Beverly going to UMass Boston. Up and away for a ball. Hit in the air to right field, backing up, making the play. Runner at second will tag and go to third. Aldani, the first player to reach third base. Michaela Poisson from Classical. Third baseman pitcher for the Rams. In for a strike. Nice stop by Betancourt. Keeps the runner at third base. Popped up. Catano. I don't know if she lost it in the sun. Looked like she could have made the play, but it bounced in front of her. So Poisson gets a break. The inning should be over. It's that bright sun, that bright sky. She probably lost it. Up and away for a ball. Yeah, we got deuces wild. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Here in inning number 2. So deuces all over the place. Hit to right field. 2 plays by the right fielder, back to back. So North leaves a runner at third. Still can't get it going. We played 2 complete in this 25th All-Star game. No score, North and South. We mentioned there were awards given out, and they do it every year, and I was blessed to be a recipient of one of those awards way back in 2002, the David Widener Media Award. The attorney Charlie DeMaker's Heritage Award this year went to George Baracus. The Dr. Elmo Benedetto Athletics Award went to Dickie Newton, young man I coached in CYO basketball, outstanding athletic director at English. The David Widener Media Award goes to Nick Kokoro from the Salem News. Harold Zimmerman Foundation Award goes to Robert Cleary. And the Paul Cavanaugh Community Award, extremely well given, Lisa Nerrick, who does a tremendous job in the city of Lynn. She wears a lot of hats. She does a lot of great stuff in the city. So congratulations to those winners of those outstanding awards. This is Isabel Betancourt, finishing up a tremendous career. They only lost 2 games this year. Both of them were to the #1 team in the state, Central Catholic Peabody. And she flies out to Link Classicals. Lozado out in center field. Anna Frangulli has the only hit in the game for the South. She lines it over the second baseman's head. She's got her second hit. And again, they'll run for her. They can run for the pitcher. And again, I believe it's might be Riley Zukas. High for a ball. Gabriella Golden from Winthrop going to Franklin Pierce. Struck out swinging her first trip. Foul tip, held on to. That one goes to the backstop. That'll put for the 3rd inning in a row. The South has a runner in scoring position, this time with 1 out. In for a strike. I've gone this far without mentioning coaches. Ashley Aldred. Nobody deserves to be here more than she does. She had a tremendous season with the English Bulldogs. Hit to deep shot. Long throw across the diamond. Safe. She beat it. So the South has the first threat. 1st and 3rd with 1 out. Jerry Ellis Perez of English had an outstanding year for the Bulldogs. Hit to 3rd. She hesitated. She was going to go to first with it, then realized the runner was coming home, and by that time, it was too late. So South gets on the board with the fielder's choice. Swing and a miss. Penny Spack pops to the shortstop for 1 trip. Down and in for a ball. So the South breaks the ice here in the 3rd inning, getting the run home. Ooh, the umpire likes that high pitch. Speck held up because it was high, and it got called a strike. That one bounces in the turf. Lined in the center field for a base hit. They hold the runner at 3rd. So the bases are loaded for Lily Talent, who grounded out 2nd and 1st. So Winthrop going to Eckerd. So the South looking for more. 3 on with 1 out. Swing and a miss. I mentioned Ashley Aldred, the outstanding coach from English. There were 4, and I think they won 9. They only had 4 wins. They won 9 in a row, and they needed to win the consolation game of the Holland tournament, and they did it to go 10-10. They made the tournament. Hit. Nice play by the shortstop. Maya Perron did a nice job. She made the force at third. But the run scores. Fatozzi lined out to the second baseman her one trip. That looked like a base hit. They got by the third baseman. Maya Perron from Beverly grabbed it and had heads up to go and make the force out at third base. Now the runners move up, takes away the force. Puts runners at second and third. Down and in for a ball. And it's ball 4. So the bases are loaded again, this time with 2 outs. Riley Zucker scored a run this inning. She ran for Frank Rulli and scored the first run. Now she's up with the bases loaded. She walked her first trip. In for a strike. Popped up in foul territory. Third baseman makes the play. But the damage is done. He scored on a fielder's choice. Scored on 2 fielder's choices. So they get 2 runs in the inning. They do it with 3 base hits. And the North has a little catching up to do now, as the South has opened up a 2-0 lead going into the bottom half of the 3rd inning. One big spot missing in this start of this great Agganis week, and that's at the gate coming in. Luna Mullins does a great job every year, former outstanding referee in basketball, does the signing around the area with Paul Halloran, a former fireman, is here every year working with Paul Halloran, who dots the I's and crosses the T's and runs the show. But Mooner is there at the admissions, collecting ticket money, selling programs, greeting everybody. And the one piece that's missing is he usually has his tremendous sidekick, Buzzy Martin, sitting right next to him, and that's a huge loss. Buzzy was so important to the city of Lynn, the community, especially the young kids, the sports. He's a tremendous gentleman, did so much for the city, for the kids, and we lost him way too early. And that's a big plus, because he was here every year, here for these games, the basketball games, the football games, the soccer games, at the gate, greeting people, selling tickets, and helping out to raise money for this great cause. Maya Mercurio from Bishop Fenwick. He's going to St. Anselm's. Bishop Fenwick got a huge win. St. Mary's had beaten them both times during the regular season. Fenwick took it into 9 innings and knocked off St. Mary's 2-0. And Mercurio starts the 3rd inning with a base hit. And her teammate, Lily Bonacorsi from Fenwick, going to UMass Amherst. They took St. Mary's to 9 innings and beat them 2-0. Ended a great season. just inside the third base bag for a base hit. So Bishop Fenwick gets back-to-back hits. And Welly Lozado from Lynn Classical. She's hit a couple of bombs this year for home runs. She helped Classical make the state tournament and win their first tournament game. Hits it to right field. That's going to be trouble. In for a base hit. They waited to see if the ball would be caught, so it's only going to load the bases. So the bases are loaded. Ashley Aiello, the pitcher, can help herself. She got a base hit her first time up. Hit high in the air, that's going to go far enough that nobody's going to make a play. Bounces up in the seats. So Aiello, pitcher against pitcher here. Chance to help herself. Wide for a ball. Hit into left field for a base hit. She gets her second hit. Gets an RBI. Bases are loaded, still with nobody out. Down and in for a ball. Paige Butlin to a walk. From Wakefield, she's going to Westchester. In for a strike. So the North saw the South get two, break the ice. Now they've got one to cut it in half, and they're looking for more with the bases loaded and nobody out. Wide for a ball. Hit foul past third base. Up and away for a ball. Big pitch coming up. Call third strike. Again, the umpire likes that high pitch. Hit foul. I mentioned Ashley Alder, the coach of the South. I missed the boat. I didn't mention Brian Seabury, who's done a tremendous job. I think he's fairly new, like second year maybe at Fenwick. Did a great job. Went deep in the tournament with a tremendous pitcher who I know he's very sorry that she's only a junior. She's back next year. They're going to be loaded next year. Foul tip off the catcher. He got that big win over St. Mary's. Chased that pitch, was way outside. And that's strike three. She tried to hold up and couldn't. So back-to-back strikeouts, 5 of them by Frank Woolley. Nikki Ericola struck out swinging her one trip. Missing for a ball. She's from Beverly going to Bridgewater State. And she's going to be partners with the on-deck hitter. Haley Harris is also going to Bridgewater State. In for a strike. Anguli trying to hold the damage down. 4 straight base hits. Swing and a miss. Got the North on the board, loaded the bases. Raguli struck out 2 in a row. Down and away for a ball. So we got deuces wild, 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. She strikes out the side. After giving up 4 hits, she stems the tide. Holds them to 1 run on 4 hits. We finished 3 here at Frazier Field. The South lead the North 2-1. We got the director of this 25th softball game next to me, a guy who wears quite a few hats here in the city of Lynn. He's got one that he wears at the athletic director of St. Mary's. Another one is the head coach of the astounding, very successful girls basketball team that has won 3 straight championships in a row. Jeff, great way to start the week again this week. Great weather, teams, good games. St. Mary's deeply involved. Franguli striking out the side to get out of trouble. That had to make you feel pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, she had a great year on the mound and at the plate. MVP of the Catholic Central League, which is, very difficult league. We had a great year. Fian was there right until the end. Fenwick was right there. And so she had a great year, and she's, that last inning, striking out the side with the bases loaded was big for her.
Coming into the season, if I told you what was going to happen, you would have said that you thought I was crazy. You're going to have, it's never happened before. I don't know if it's ever happened anyplace. Certainly hasn't happened in Lynn. One school going to 4 state finals. Girls basketball, boys basketball, girls hockey, boys winning the Super Bowl in football. You had those, plus you had the great tournaments you ran at St. Mary's raising money. It had to be one of the best years St. Mary's has ever had.
Yeah, I think, it's really competitive within the teams at the school. And, I tell the kids all the time we're spoiled because we've had whether you're playing or you're a student at the school or a parent, there's always seems to be at least one per season, at least one team that goes on these runs. But, the bad side of it to me is, we have teams that get to the Sweet 16, the 8, the Final 4, and they feel like they didn't really accomplish anything because the bar's been set so high. And I'm like, do you realize there's schools in this state that have never been to a state championship game in any sport?
Some don't make the tournament.
Right. So, it was really an unprecedented year, and we had a great group of seniors, as you're seeing some of them today here in softball, and we'll see them across the football and the basketball and everything else, but really a great group of seniors.
Not to mention the athletic director and the basketball coaches pretty well, spoiled rotten as well. You just stand there watching the girls win 3 state championships in a row, and the boys the Super Bowl, and teams going to the final, and softball having a great year, baseball having another good year. That win against Manfield was one of the wackiest games I've ever seen, but one of the best I've ever seen. It's a great way to get your team didn't quit. The little freshman getting a big base hit, knocking in 2 runs to tie it, and the senior follows up with a base hit to win it, to send you to the Final 4. So a great year, and you were a very big part of that, my friend. Congratulations to on my alma mater, St. Mary's, because I went there as well.
Thank you. Yeah, John, that Mansfield baseball game was the best rain delay we've ever had in program history. Mansfield was cruising to a win. We had a downpour. We stopped for 40 minutes, and we came back, and the momentum just changed. But
I didn't know if we were ever going to finish the 7th inning.
Well, thank God we have this field, or else
that's for sure.
we would have been coming back the next day. So, but yeah, it's been a great year, and thank you for you've been at almost every single game. So we appreciate everything you do too.
Thank you, my friend. Congratulations on a great job. And talking about St. Mary's, that was Angie Catino leading off with a strikeout, swinging for the first out, starting the fourth inning. Lauren Malcolm called on and strikes her first trip. Hits it foul up in the seats. A decent crowd here, but you got to remember that they got fans spread all over the place. They got the lacrosse game is going on as well. Hit to right field, coming on, it bounces in front. Malcolm gets a base hit. One out, the runner at first for Isabel Betancourt. She hit it on the nose and hit it right to the center fielder, Lozado from Classical. Hit in the air. Pop to the second baseman. Two away. Anna Frangrulli. Single twice. And Zuka's running for her, scored the first run. That one bounced in front of home plate. High for the ball. They throw it down. Diving back is Malcolm. Hit to right center field, going back. Nice job by the second baseman, covering a lot of ground. That looked like it might be a base hit. And it was taken away. That was Michaela Poisson from Glasgow making that play. So they get Frangrulli for the first time. She almost got her third hit. Halfway through the ball game. I think Frangrulli's going to get a rest, I think. I'm going to have Christy Skane from Everett be the new pitcher. So Frangrulli goes the first three. She gave up four hits in a row she gave up. She gave the run that was earned. She actually gave up 5 hits. The run was earned. If the South can hold on, she'll get the win. And Christy Skane from Everett. Oh, yeah. USC. These people just travel all over the country. I should mention it. The North team. Ashley Aiello going to URI. Paige Butler from Wakefield going to Westchester. Chloe DeCaspi Bobian from Gloucester going to San Diego State. Nikki Ericola, Haley Harris from Beverly and Triton both going to Bridgewater State. Isabella Aldoni from Triton going to UVM. Maya Perone from Beverly going to UMass Boston. Michaela Poisson from Classical going to Emmanuel. Grace Thomas from Salem Academy going to USC. Mia Mercurio and Lily Bonacorsi, both from Bishop Fenwick, going to St. Anselm's and UMass Amherst. On the other side of the list, Casarino from North Reading going to Endicott. Anna Frangrulli from St. Mary's going to Alabama. Gabriella Golden from Winthrop going to Franklin Pierce. Chariels Perez from Linden is going to Salem State. Kaylee Rossi from Everett going to Bunker Hill Community College. Christy Skane from Everett going to USC. Penny Spack from Peabody going to URI. Lily Town from Winthrop going to Eckerd. Mia Vitozzi from North Reading going to Babson. Riley Zukas from St. Mary's going to Wentworth. Angelina Catino from St. Mary's going to Sacred Heart. Lauren Malcolm from Peabody and Isabella Betancourt from Peabody going to Regis and Bates. So outstanding students, outstanding athletes going to outstanding schools, traveling. Ayala from Gloucester is going to URI. Chloe DeGaspi Borbian from Gloucester going all the way to San Diego State. Haley Harris struck out swinging her first trip. Missing inside for a ball. This is the 25th annual Agganis All-Star Game. The lacrosse game is still going on over there. Jammed her and she swung right through it. The lacrosse game's going over there, a doubleheader. I said halftime, might have been between the two games. Swing and a miss. It's the 11th lacrosse. They kept adding sports each year. Hit foul past third base. Two games across over at Manning. Baseball, softball here at Frazier. I stopped by Brian Seabury, the third base coach and the coach of the North. Up and away for a ball. I think it's Gabriella Golden behind the plate now. Hit to short. Nice job by Mia Vitozzi from North Reading, making the play. Isabella Adoni. Reached on an error. Takes the pitch for a strike. Down and in, goes to the backstop. Swing and a miss. Try to get a little tip into the glove of Golden. They give Betancourt a little bit of a rest wearing all that equipment. It's warm down there. Call third. She knew it too. She was walking away as soon as she took the pitch. 2 up, 2 down. Hit to left field, over the left fielder's head. That's hit a long way. Scampering around, she's going to tie the game up with a home run. A big 2-out home run by Mia Perone of Beverly. And we got a tie game. Michaela Poisson. Takes it inside for a ball. Link Glasgow. Help Link Glasgow. Along with Lozado, who's playing center field in this game. Helped him take the Rams to the tournament and win their first game. Chop foul. We mentioned Ashley Aldridge deserving to be here. She certainly did. Outstanding job with the Lynn English Lady Bulldogs. They hadn't made the tournament in a very long time. Probably over 20 years. Call third strike. So 2 strikeouts in the inning by Rossi, Skane of Everett. But the home run by Perone has put us right back where we started. We were dead even at the start of the game. We played 4 innings, and we're dead even. 2-2, North and South in this 25th Agganis All-Star softball game. Link Glasgow's Michaela Poisson now on the mound. For the North. I started to talk about Lisa Aldrich. Nobody would have even thought that she would even, never mind make the tournament, would even have a shot at making the tournament. They were like 4 and I don't even know if they had 4 wins. They had like 2 wins. They went on an 8-game win streak, winding up beating Swampscott in the consolation round of the Holland tournament. And the English Bulldogs made the state tournament for the first time in well over 20 years. And there wasn't the odds you could have gotten in Vegas for that to happen. Would have been you could have been a multi-millionaire. She did a tremendous job with that team. She got them showing up, working, hustling, playing together. In for a strike. Poisson pitching and play third. Rachel Dana, they swapped. If Poisson pitched, Dana played third. If Dana pitched, Poisson played third. Hit to the shortstop. Nice play, backing up, making the play. I think that's Perone again.
Now batting for the South, number 6, Christy Skane.
Hit off the pitcher's glove. They'll make the play.
Now batting for the South, number 7, Penny Spack.
Penny's back, popped a short single. Down and in for a ball. High for a ball. In for a strike. Deuces Wild, 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 2-2 the score. So again, deuces all over the place. Chopped, foul. Bit of a crowd for this game, and the Navigators open up the refreshment stand just behind home plate. And it's ball 4. Well, Spack throws a 2-out walk. She's on for the second time.
Now batting for the South, number 9, Lily Talent.
Lily Talent grounds it to second. Hit him to a fielder's choice. In on the fist. Hit to third. And they'll get Talent. So the South has a base runner, but left at first base. We'll move into the bottom half of the 5th. In his 25th again, a softball game. Nothing to choose between these two. It's 2-2. And Christy Skane of Everett will start her second inning of work, coming in relief of Fanguli. So Poisson comes in and gets 3 outs, gives up a walk. And the North will have another opportunity to get on the board first. Or to get out in front, I should say. With the score tied at 2. So Everett on the mound. Winthrop behind the plate. Mia Mercurio got a base hit and scored the first run for the North, cutting the South lead to 2-1.
Now batting for the North, number 10, Mia Mercurio.
Carry out of Bishop Fenwick going to St. Anselm's. Down and in for a ball. In for a strike. I think it was Everett that wound up winning the Greater Boston League. Glasgow had a shot. Swing and a miss. Luckily that was strike 2 because she would have gone to first base. It went to the backstop. Off-speed pitch. Again, the umpire likes that high pitch.
Now batting for the North, number 15, Lily Bonacorsi.
Lily Bonacorsi got a base hit her first time up. Her base hit helped moved Mercurio around. She was able to score on a hit by the pitcher Aiello. Anguli went the first three, gave up 5 hits, gave up the 1 run, but she struck out 5. And when North looked like they had a real threat, they had a run in, bases loaded, nobody out. She struck out the side. Off-speed pitch. She was way out. See, look, she's smiling going back to the bench. She was way out in front of that pitch. What a off-speed pitch. 4 strikeouts by Skane. Fouled off the catcher for strike 1. But that off-speed pitch, she was way out in front. And as soon as it went by, she waved at it, and she just said, I can't believe I did that. Hit foul past third base. Hit in the air, it's going to go out of play. Again, the off-speed pitch, she just got a piece of it way out in front. That's a very nice pitch by Skane. She got 1 strikeout with it. She almost got her second. Golfs that one in the air. Long run for the left fielder. So 1-2-3 inning. For the North. And Skane comes in and gets the job done. Still nothing to choose. We finished 5, and we're still dead even at 2. I got the guy who dots the I's and crosses the T's here, Paul Howland, who's in charge of all of this. I know will be the first to say he's got an awful lot of help. The one big problem I have, Paul, is Buzzy Barton's not at the gate collecting tickets because he was a huge part of this for many years.
Yeah, and his sidekick is Bob Mullins. But yeah, as you'll see in the program, we're going to dedicate both basketball games to Buzzy this year, him having coached, as you know, at Lynn English. And yeah, that was a huge loss, John. Not just for the Agganis Foundation, obviously for the city as a whole. So
yeah, especially for the athletics. She was well behind, not just English where he coached and played, but all of the kids.
Yes. No, he was a staple, for us. He would have been here today, and he would have been here Tuesday, and he would have been here Wednesday. And then he would have been down to basketball, watching the basketball game.
Well, doing games this year here, I said the one thing I start to feel bad about is I look out to right field beyond the fence, and Buzzy Barton's not sitting on his hill smoking his cigars.
On his truck,
yeah. And I said,
that was because he was too cheap to buy a ticket.
well, he made the excuse he wanted to smoke a cigar, but I accepted that.
And one thing we know is once the temperature dropped below 70, it was too cold for Buzzy.
He was gone. He was gone. But Paul, could you ask for better weather? Around the area there was some rain and stuff, and you worried the way the weather was going, and because it could really upset the games here today and the football game and the soccer games. But the weather, you couldn't ask for a better day.
Yeah, we thought we might have to be kind of a beat the clock type of situation today. Like yesterday, you saw that the rain came in around dinner time. So, we're almost done with this. We're into the second lacrosse game next door. So, hopefully we get through today. It can rain. Tomorrow's basketball, so it can rain all at once.
Well, tremendous job by you and all the people that help you, and you've been doing this for a long time. But when you give away over $2 million and you satisfy scholarships to over almost 1,100 kids, and now it's going up to $8,000, $2,000 a year, where it was $1,000 a year. I mean, who could ask for anything more? This has been a true blessing, and to have it here at Fraser and Lynn, you couldn't be better than this.
Yeah, and we're really fortunate, John. You know, the city from the Mayor Nicholson on down, you know, through Rich Avery, as you know, who runs these facilities, and all the DPW guys. We're blessed is the right word to have these two facilities sitting right next to each other. You know, it gives me the ability to go back and forth, and you know, we'll be at Lynn Classical tomorrow, appropriately the alum where Harry Agganis went to school. But we're really blessed to have the support of the city and have this type of complex available to us.
Well, I looked and I said, it's great for these kids. These kids can now say, it's games have been going on for years, but these are the first teams to play on this brand new field.
Yeah, the new turf. We got new turf all over the place here. This is brand new, and we got turf a year old next door. So, yeah, hats off to the city. And as I say, we all know our friend Rich Avery does a tremendous job. And, you know, the city has made the commitment to keep these facilities up to date. And, you know, I know Jeff Newhall, who was helping me outrun these games this year, you know, he uses Manning extensively for the MIA soccer tournament, and they use this Fraser Field for the MIA baseball tournament. So it's good a lot of people from outside the city get to see what we have for facilities.
And they're also going to turf the softball field down at Breed.
Yeah, well, it's the way to go, John. You know, because rain.
Well, if it drizzles, you can't play at Breed, and,
Right.
and the schools, all kinds of schools in Babe Ruth may use that field.
and you know, this stuff, if it pours, you just keep playing.
Yeah, that's for
It's
sure. We saw that.
Literally a
We
sponge.
saw that when Mansfield played here against St. Mary's.
Yeah.
They had three timeouts, and they waited a long time. I didn't know if we were ever going to get the seventh inning in, but we finally did. That was a great win for St. Mary's. But congratulations to you and
Thank
all
you.
your people. And start of the week on a great week, and it'll be another great week for Agganis.
Thank you, John. Appreciate it.
Two up, two down as Vitozzi is grounded out the short. Zook struck out swinging. Poisson is retired 5 out of 6. Low for a ball. Catino was grounded to short and struck out swinging. We mentioned she's an outstanding goaltender, helping St. Mary's girls win an awful lot of games, taking them to the state final this year. Up and away for a ball. And again, I've been doing this for a very long time. I was involved with Everett with all their great football teams, but I don't remember anybody, anywhere, anytime having 4 schools, having 4 teams from the same school go to the state final in the same year. And St. Mary's did that. The boys won the Super Bowl. Girls won the state championship in basketball. Boys basketball, girls hockey went to the state final. And boys baseball went to the Final Four. Catino draws a walk. Lauren Malcolm got a base hit after she struck out her first time. I think it's Maya Perron behind the plate now for the North. Wide for a ball. Hit foul past first base. A lot of people putting a lot of time, effort, and energy into this week. Time and effort put into it to get here. Coaches, especially football, having practices beforehand. Softball and soccer and lacrosse just don't bother with the crowd. They show up, but still the coaches go through a lot of work. That's going to be a base hit off the pitcher's glove. Malcolm gets her second hit. And Betancourt will be the hitter. She's flied to center and popped the second. But you got people helping out in the dugouts. You got people running the scoreboard, people announcing, umpires, referees. Maybe the concession stands over at Manning. Concessions here are being run by the Navigators. They have their own concession stand. They open it up for these games. So an awful lot of people putting in an awful time and effort and energy. A lot of these young men and young ladies will be playing in more than one game. Hit in the left field for a base hit. They're sending the runner. The throw to the plate won't be in time. Catino scores. Betancourt gets the base hit and an RBI. And the South break the tie. Second and third. Malcolm goes to third. Betancourt goes to second on a throw to the plate. Emma Frangui singled. First time singled or second time. Zuka's running for her, scored the first run. Last time up, she popped to second base. Way inside for a ball. And Gooley is going to travel to Alabama. And they're getting a good one. Not only a very good pitcher, but a very good lady. Ooh. Off-speed pitcher was out in front of it and chopped it foul. Goes to the backstop. The runner's going to score. So they get two in the third to take a 2-0 lead. North came back and tied it up. Now they get two more here, and they got a runner at third with 2 outs. The walk with 2 outs hurt. Back-to-back singles. Now the wild pitch. And that's going to be a base hit. Franguli gets her third hit. So 2-out Lightning by the South after 2 outs. A walk, 3 hits and a wild pitch. And all of a sudden, it's 5-2. Here in the top of the 6th inning. Poisson had retired 5 out of 6, giving up only a walk. Before she gave up the second walk that extended this inning, and that hurt. Because it was followed by 3 hits and a wild pitch to make it 5-2. Chase that high pitch for strike 3. Gabriella Golden goes down and strikes. But the South gets it done. That 2-out walk really hurt, followed by 3 base hits. And going into the bottom of the 6th, North has some work to do as they trail it 5-2. Crowd's starting to fill up a little bit more. getting ready for the baseball game. Chrissy Skane will start her third inning. She's retired 6 out of 7. The one batter to reach was a home run that tied the game up. She struck out 3. She's done a nice job coming in relief for Frank Woolley. So Frank Woolley's got 3 base hits. The runner for her scored a run. She knocked in a run, and she struck out 5 in her 3 innings.
I'm an MVP.
She must know that there's a trophy being given out at the end of the game for MVP. Ashley Aiello, who was the starting pitcher, she's got 2 base hits. She knocked in the first run for the North. So we start the bottom of the 6th. Down and in for a ball. So she's 2 for 2 with an RBI. Missing inside, 2-0. Swing and a miss. We mentioned the South looking for their 11th win against 12 wins for the North, along with the 2 ties. Line off the shortstop's glove, and they throw it away. So she'll reach on the error. That was right in the glove of the shortstop. She just dropped it and then threw it away. Aiello winds up at second base.
Now batting for the North, number 2, Dave Scott.
So after the South took a 2-0 lead, North came back and tied it. She beats the bunt. Butler gets a base hit. After they tied it 2, South gets 3 to take a 5-2 lead. And now here comes the North coming back. First and third with nobody out. Chloe, Tagashi, Boboin, Bobian from Gloucester going to San Diego State. How do they find these schools, and how do these schools find them? Hit to third. Out at first base. Did they call it a fair ball? They called it a foul ball. Malcolm fielded it. I thought she was right at the third base bag, but third base umpire said foul ball. So Bobine is back up again. She struck out twice swinging. This is her first time up against Skeen. Her 2 strikeouts came against Frank Woolley. Up and away for a ball. Up and away. Just got a piece and fouled it back. Off the catch there, it bounced. The run's going to score. So 5-3 with a runner at third and nobody out. Not letting South get too far away. And it's ball 4. First walk given up by Skeen. Nikki Ericola has struck out twice, both times against Frank Woolley. Down and in for a ball. And the runner just walks to second base. So the tying runs are in scoring position with nobody out. Swing and a miss. In on the hands, she swung right through it. Swing and a miss again. Big strikeout for Skeen. First out of the inning. 4 strikeouts for Skeen. Frank Woolley had 5. Haley Harris struck out, grounded to short. Hits it off the third baseman. The runner's going to score. Second error in the inning. And all of a sudden that 5-2 lead has dwindled to 5-4. Isabella Adoni. Reached on an error, called out on strikes. Swing and a miss. Down and in for a ball. So a couple of errors. A walk, a hit, a wild pitch. And that 3-run cushion is now a skinny 1-run lead. The runner going to second is out. I'll go in the third, excuse me. She ran into the shortstop. So there's 2 outs now with first and second. Maya Perone fly to right and hit a blast over the left fielder's head for a home run to tie the game up back in the fourth inning. And the runner takes off and steals third. And I would assume that means that the runner at first will now steal second. Popped up. Back to the screen. Aldani, the runner at first, was going. Now she has to go back. And that hits her. That extends the inning. Tying run is still a third. Now the go-ahead run is at second base. Michaela Poisson. Fly to right, called out on strikes. Down and in for a ball. The call out on strikes was against Skane. Hit foul past third base. Way inside for a ball. Foul tip off the catcher. Off-speed pitch, sails high. Swing and a miss for strike three. So a shaky inning, but she ends it with a strikeout. And the South will hold on to that skinny one-run lead with an inning left. South leads the North 5-4. In for a strike. Christy Skane grounded out second to first. Popped up, going to make it to the screen. She gave up those two runs with only one base hit. There were two big errors. Also a wild pitch. The only hit was a bunt by Butlin. Punch foul down to the first base coach. Nice play by the second baseman. That's a yellow. She went way to her right, picked that one. Took a base hit away from Skane. Penny's back, popped the shot, singled, and walked. Hits it foul to the backstop. Way inside for a ball. Down and in for a ball. Nice stop by Mia Perone. Or Maya Perone. In for a strike. Hit the shot. They got to hurry. Throw is dropped at first base. Speck will reach on the error. Looked like they had her. Good long throw by the shortstop, Butlin. It looked like they had her by a half a step, and they couldn't hold on to the throw. Louis Town grounded to second. Reached center fielder's choice. Her fielder's choice got her an RBI. Inside for a ball. So 1 out, 1 on here in the 7th inning. And in case you're wondering, there are no ties. If it's a tie, it ends a tie. Swing and a miss. Foul tip off the catcher's glove. Chase, that pitch was up and away. Just got a piece and fouled it off. Porcelon has pitched well. She's on the short end of a 5-4 score. But the 3 runs she gave up, all came with 2 outs after a 2-out walk. This game gave 2 of them back, but 2 of them that scored reached on errors. Call third strike. Mia Vitozzi, line to second, walked, grounded to short. Down and in for a ball. Line foul past first base.
No, I think Steve Krause is coming. Really? Yeah, lucky you. Sorry.
Up and away for a ball. Hit popped in the air right to the pitcher. So the error doesn't hurt. North is down. The South is down. And the South is 3 outs away from picking up their 11th win in the series to get within 1 of the North. So the North needs a run. Mia Mercurio will lead off. She singled and scored the first run. She was called on a strike her last time up. The strikeout came against Christy Kane, who's on the mound now. Ranguli went the first 3, gave up a run, struck out 5. And she could very easily be the MVP. She's got 3 base hits. A runner for her scored a run. She knocked in a run and she struck out 5. And she was leading 2-1 when she left. High for a ball. Low for a ball. 2-0. Swing and a miss. 2-1 the count. Lacrosse winding down over at Manning Field. Softball winding down. Off-speed pitch. That pitch is outstanding by Christy Skane. She had everybody way out in front. Missing inside. Hit foul. That off-speed pitch misses. Mercurio's on for the second time. So the tying run is at first base with nobody out. Bonacorsi is singled and struck out swinging. Waves at that pitch. Up and away for a ball. Waved at that off-speed pitch. Everybody's doing it. Way out in front of that off-speed pitch. She's got, that's an outstanding pitch. Strikeout. And the runner is going to go to third. The tying run is going to be at third base. And now the tying run is going to score. Two errors on the play. Mercurio scores their second run. She stole second. They threw it. It got by. She went to third. They threw it. It got by. She scored easily. She gets her second run, and the game is dead even. So the best the South can hope for is a tie and hope that the North doesn't score another run. Manuel Lozado singled and flies to left. Hit to center field. Zukas will make the play, so Klasko flies out to St. Mary's. Aiello has singled twice, reached on an error, and scored a run. She's been on base 3 times. Hit out in front of the plate. They throw her out, and that's going to do it. So the South, very gracious in the 7th inning, gives a run to the North, and we started the game even, and we end the game even at 5 apiece as the North gets an unearned run in the 7th inning on a couple of errors, and it winds up a 5-5 game. South got 2. 2 in the 3rd inning. Franguli got a base hit. Zukas ran for her. Franguli went to second on a wild pitch. Golden singled. Zukas running for her to third. A fielder's choice scored Zukas. A fielder's choice scored Golden. Made it 2-0. 3 straight hits. 4 straight hits. Mercurio, Buonacorsi, Lozado, and then Aiello got the RBI. With the bases loaded, Franguli struck out the side. That made it 2-1.
Up first for the South, Anna Franguli.
Anna Franguli, the MVP for the South. Maya Perron with 2 outs hit a home run deep over the left fielder's head to make it 2-2.
And from the North, Maya Perron.
Maya Perron, who hit the home run, she made a couple of nice plays at short and did a nice job behind the plate at the end. With the score 2-2, South got 3. Looked like they put it away in the 6th inning. After 2 outs, Catino drew a walk. Malcolm, Betancourt, and Franguli all singled. A wild pitch thrown in made it 5-2 at the time. In the bottom of the 6th was only 1 hit, 2 errors. A wild pitch, Aiello scored, an error, Butlin scored. That made it 5-4. And then in the 7th inning, Mercurio drew a leadoff walk with a strikeout. She was stealing second base. They threw it down. It got by the second baseman into the outfield. Mercurio kept going to third. They threw it to third. It got by the third baseman into foul territory. Mercurio scored her second run. That made it 5-5, and that's the way the game ends. They don't go in extra innings. They only play 7 innings. So a tie becomes a tie. So it's the 3rd time in the series we've had a tie. So North still leads 12 wins. South has 10 and 3 ties now in the 25th. And we'll get ready now for the 28th All-Star Baseball game here at Frazier Field. So the boys will take center stage now, but the girls did well. Final game for the seniors, final game for the Lynn seniors playing here at Frazier Field, and couldn't come up with a winner. It ends dead even. So North 5, South 5 is the way it ends in the 25th All-Star softball game. We hope you enjoyed it. I'm Don Hoffman saying we'll see you next time.